You are Locked On Mavericks Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Dallas, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Man, what a roller coaster of emotions and what a tough loss for the Mavs. 113-109, the final. Here we go. Welcome into the Mavs Postcast, your team every single day, and in our case, your team every single game. My name is Jeff Biggs, 36-year-plus NBA host and reporter. Happy to be with you on this Monday night. Not happy at all with the results as the Mavs suffer a stunning defeat at home against the lowly Brooklyn Nets, 113-109, the same Nets that they beat by 19 points a week ago. And they could not get it done with a golden opportunity to gain some ground in the standings with a win on their home floor tonight. But it did not happen. They were outscored in the fourth quarter, 29-22, and the Mavs go down again to the Nets, 113-109. We want to hear from you via the comment crew to be a part of the show. Please jump in and share your thoughts, and let's get right to it. Lots to get to, not a lot of time.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Coming up on our show tonight, the return of Daniel Gafford, and thankfully it appears that that little tweak, that collision, that bump to the knee in the fourth quarter looked like maybe that was going to be worse, but thankfully, I think I'm not there in the arena. I'm not a doctor, but I think he's going to be okay. It appeared that he was able to kind of get through it and then gave the thumbs up and appeared to tell head coach Jason Kidd that he was okay. But we're going to talk about Daniel Gafford and his return also, possibly, hopefully, maybe. Looks like Derek Lively and his return on Wednesday. So that will be something to look forward to when the Mavs host the Hawks. And then AD's home debut, part two. Remember, when he made his home debut with the Mavs, had that great first half, re-aggravated the injury, didn't get to finish the game. Well, tonight was his first game playing back since that tough game against the Rockets. So the only thing missing tonight was the win. And with all that said, and don't get me wrong, it was a tough finish and a roller coaster game and a roller coaster of emotions. I'm going to give you a little bit of a big takeaway that we can use for this one, and hopefully it will be a positive note. But no doubt about it, no way to spin it. As great as it was to have Daniel Gafford back, and I mean, man, what a good feeling before the game tipped off. We knew after the big win on the road to wrap up the road trip with a win in Chicago over the Bulls, that 1-point win on Saturday night, which was great. We kind of had a feeling that maybe both Gafford and Lively would be back, or maybe one either tonight or Wednesday night. Then we kind of got the feel this afternoon that Gafford was going to be back. And so you're getting ready for the game and you're thinking, okay, Gafford's back. He's going to play with AD and Kai Jones, and they're going to protect the rim and block everybody out in the paint. And the question was, would the Mavs win by 20 or more? I mean, that was kind of the thought. And I mean, the Nets, to their credit, they are still a professional NBA team, and they had total chip on their shoulder, total house money attitude. And they were like, okay, you're going to block the paint. You're going to protect the rim. We are just going to jack up threes. And they did it early and often, and they did it so much that not only did they knock down 13 in the first half, but I mean, they kept doing it over and over again until finally they got their confidence for this game, for tonight, and they just kept doing it. And that was it right there. I mean, the Nets on the night ended up with 20 made threes, 20 of 51. They jacked up 51 and they knocked down 20. And they got their confidence. They felt like they could win. They felt like they could keep doing what they were doing, and the Mavs were never able. Well, I take that back. The Mavs did adjust, and they played great the first half of the fourth quarter, and that brings us to our turning point.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Yeah, the turning point, the losing point. The Mavs were up by 10 midway through the fourth quarter, 98 to 108. I'm sorry, 98 to 88. What am I saying? 98-88. And the Nets went on a 12-0 run to take the lead, 100-98. The Mavs went over 3.5 minutes without a basket, without a point, and that was the turning point. I mean, the Mavs were up by 10. They were playing defense. They were rolling, and that drought happened, and they could not score. And the Nets, to their credit, like I said, they kept shooting. They kept putting pressure on, and that was the ball game. And they ended up finishing the game on a 25-11 run. And again, 23s made for the Nets, and they win it 113-109. All right, want to hear from you via the comment crew. We're going to take our first and only timeout. When we come back, we'll get some thoughts from you, and we'll get the Mavs player of the game and the Bigs takeaway before we get ready for Wednesday and the Hawks. This is the Mavs Postcast. All right, well, I want to tell you about what's going on at Game Time. If I can just get this to stop right there. There we go. All right. There is nothing like watching basketball live. The energy of the crowd, the sound of the sneakers on the hardwood, maybe even a celebrity sighting courtside. If you want to catch a game in person, Game Time makes getting tickets easier than ever. Now, Game Time has a new feature, Game Time Picks, which filters out the fluff and shows you only the best deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time scrolling through thousands of tickets. There is easy ticket shopping. You can check the Game Time app. There are amazing deals and some big games coming up if you want to get out there. Wednesday, of course, there's going to be a huge demand for Luka and the Lakers next week, but Game Time Picks even highlights super deals, giving you the best bang for your buck, and you get peace of mind with seat views before you buy, no surprise fees, and a lowest price guarantee. You can book with total confidence. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time Picks. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game time. All right, welcome back to the Mavs Postcast. Jeff Biggs with you. 113-109 the final as the Mavs go down. And that brings us to our player of the game for this one. As you know, we always pick a Mavs player for the player of the game. So we will do that right now.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Yeah, I got to go with the landlord, Daniel Gafford, and his return tonight ends up with 17 points and 7 rebounds in 19 minutes. Welcome back, Daniel Gafford, who had not played for a month and a half. Since February 10th was his last game. That was a long time ago with that knee sprain, but he was back tonight in the starting lineup. Looked really, really good. Had some big rebounds, some big dunks with authority. And so now I think hopefully the Mavs, and this brings me to the big takeaway for this one today, is just to say that as tough as this one is and disappointing as it is, hopefully this will be a great, coaching moment, great opportunity to learn right now with 6 games still remaining in the regular season. Great opportunity to see, okay, this is what teams are going to do when we go big and we pack the paint and we protect the rim. This is how teams are going to want to attack us. And a big part of that is going to be threes. So they're going to have to work on their defense, their exterior perimeter defense. They're going to have to get more help. They're going to have to move some more. I get it. First game back, they're all kind of getting used to each other. Kai used to AD, getting used to Gafford. And then now with Lively coming back either Wednesday or Friday. So they got a few games here, but at the same time, they need to win. You can't give away games like this, especially on your home floor. You gotta take care of business on your home floor. They know that. I don't need to say that. It was on a positive note. You can see the camaraderie, you can see the togetherness with this team and with this group, and how much they want to not only battle, but how they want to just play for each other and win for each other. It was just a weird night where, the Nets couldn't miss. And then you look at the Mavs and their shooting, right? You had Gafford with 17, PJ and Klay each had 13. And then Anthony Davis had 12 and 7. Max Christie had a very quiet 12 off the bench. And then he had 11 for Spencer Dinwiddie. And then on the bench, kind of a quiet night for Najee because of foul trouble. He had 8 with 7 apiece for Kai Jones and Caleb Martin. I agree with Mark Followell. I thought Caleb actually played really well defensively, but the Mavs were 10 of 30 for their 3-point shooting, and the killer was the free throw line. The Mavs were 17 of 29. Look at that. It's a 4-point game and you miss 12. You make 5 of those and you win the game. And so that was a killer. The rebounding edge, the Mavs had the edge there, 49-40. And you look at the points in the paint, and the Mavs were dominant, 56-36, but the fast break points, the Mavs got burned 21-8. And again, as I've said multiple times throughout this episode tonight, it was the Nets 3-point shooting that was killer, 20 of 51. You hate to see those games, especially right now, this time of the year, with the stakes as high as they are, and with every game, every win so important and so critical. But that's the way that it went tonight for the Mavs. So bounce back, get a day of practice tomorrow, and then a huge game on Wednesday against the Hawks before the Mavs head to LA, not to see Luka, but to play 2 games with the Clippers before hosting Luka and the Lakers. Those will not be easy games. Hopefully the Mavs can at least get the split in LA against the Clips in their first appearance in the Intuit Dome there in LA. But tough one tonight. More importantly, let's see. I should say before that, let's see if they can win on Wednesday night against the Hawks. Don't forget, Nick Angstead and the crew are going to have their show coming up, and also they'll have a lot more with everything going on tomorrow. And got to give kudos to Nick and Isaac for their interview that they did with Tim McMahon about Luka and the trade and Nico Harrison. It was excellent work. A great interview. If you're a Mavs fan, you have to see it. So be sure and check that out. Nick with Tim McMahon and Isaac talking about everything going on, everything you would want to know. Great interview. Wish it could have gone on a little bit longer. It was that good. It was really good stuff, and they did a great job. And that's what you expect from the Mavs podcast. But that is going to do it for us tonight. The final score, the Mavs fall to the Nets 113-109. I will be back with you on Wednesday night after the Mavs take on the Hawks. Hopefully you'll be able to join me then. Thank you, though, for those of you that were with me tonight. And again, this has been the Mavs Postcast.